Okay, we are live. Show you who we got in the mix. Show you what we got going on. We got kids playing basketball, birds, distractions, and a little bit of a playground. We'll probably hit that up in a little bit. People walking in and out. The park is not locked. The park is not enclosed. I mean, it sort of is, but there are openings. Opening there, opening there. You can go out that way and hit up the street, but this is what we got going on. And then we got Soli here. So I'm gonna try to keep this short because my battery is not it's kind of like ready to die here. But we're just kind of doing the same thing that we did with Echo, but I want to explain her situation. So Soli's actually a pretty rad dog. She knows her stuff. However, her owner is 90 years old with Alzheimer's, right? So the problem is, let's go, come on, good girl. The problem is that Soli is extremely possessive and protective. Soli, here, good girl. Possessive and protective of her 90-year-old owner with Alzheimer's. Here's the problem. When you get up in that age, when you have Alzheimer's, eventually you do fatigue, you need your rest more, and great owner, but the dog always hovers around. So there's a couple things we got to work on. We got to work on our impulse control so a dog can learn how to hold a place, but more importantly, if a dog breaks a place, we have to be able to have solid recall, which is the start, right? Everything that we've been covering to teach a dog recall off of food, recall when off of food, or recall in general, then recall off of food, which is a higher distraction, and then outing. I did a periscope on this where you're stepping into the dog. You stepping in for a dog that is possessive, that can resource guard or can be protective and resource guard the owner, is very, very, very important. So there's a couple ways to kind of mix and match. It doesn't always have to be with food, but here's the foundation. If my dog, or if this dog knows recall solid, if the dog knows spatial pressure, where I can step into you when you have food, when you have a toy, or just in general, and you can understand spatial pressure, which is basically like there's a pole attached to us. When I start stepping into you, you mirror that and back up, and then I can reward. We can put the dog owners and the caretaker, the dog walkers and the caretakers in a position where they can recall her. Or if needed, they can step toward her and get her to back away from the object, which in this case won't be food, it will be the owner, right? And people go, well, how do you practice that fundamental? You practice it the same way as everything else. You don't necessarily have to practice in the test in the environment with the individual. You have to teach the behaviors that you want first. So that way, when you ask her to do it in a situation that's a little bit more extreme or challenging for her, she's like, oh, that's just like what I do here. So that's why outing, teaching her out is so important, and teaching her recall. And I'll show you, she's in the middle. Let me actually swap this really quick. She's kind of doing her thing. She's smelling. We'll wait till she's kind of not paying attention to us. And we're going to start with a little bit of recall, and then we'll show you how we kind of change it up. Sometimes we're doing it off of food. Sometimes we're doing, sometimes we're actually just regularly recalling her, but everything is the practice that she needs, right? Here's some food here. We'll kind of see if she's going to get interested in that. Or she's actually looking at the birds right now. Soli, here. Good girl. Come here. Very nice. Let's go. Yes, so good. So good. Just kind of hanging out. We're going to start to walk kind of over here. Another thing that we focus on with her is just regular kind of let's goes. So I'm not going to tell her let's go every second. But at the same time, if she's not with me, I want to be able to let her know that we're kind of changing directions or doing something, right? So we're going to come on over here. I either have 20% battery life or 10, I'm not really sure. But we're gonna see, got the kids playing ball, chilling out, right? So let's go. Good girl. Come on, and my body's actually walking the other way. I wish I had a 360 camera to kind of show you. Soli, sit. Good, down. Very nice, girlfriend. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. So a couple things. We know that we can recall. Soli, here. Good girl. Nice. Good job. Another thing that's very important here, spatial pressure. I'm deliberately putting movement on her that normally would potentially set her off, right? Back. Good girl. And I'm also pairing that with a remote collar because we want this to be an easy means of communication that feels the same whether a trainer's doing it that has perfect body language or somebody that doesn't have that, right? Back. Good girl. A couple different ways to do that, right? Okay. Here. Good. Back. Very good. She kind of did that on her own there. Nice. Good job. Do that one more time. Back. Good girl. Sit down. Good. Now we're gonna do something a little bit more challenging for her. Put the food over here. Yes. Let her kind of pick those up. Right. Let's start our recall. Sully, here. Good girl. So good. Very good. Off of food, that's a big deal. Yes. Good job. Let's go. Come on. Yes. Go ahead. Eat it up, girl. I'll let her eat. I'm not going to do this right away because I want her to kind of get into a rhythm where she kind of forgets about me. So let her enjoy that. Now, my stepping in is going to be the same motion, right? I want her to see me and know that moving away brings good things, right? Sully, out. Good girl. Yes. And that's all I'm going to do for today. Kind of work that. So hopefully that makes sense. You can see how all the stuff that we do relates to her situation. And you can work on her behaviors indirectly, even though you're not there to kind of work on like the main problem. Like I don't need the owner, especially in the beginning, to create the foundation that I need. Obviously we'll have to get to that point where we're working, but she's already prepped so that when it's time to challenge her in that situation, when we ask her for something and we're firm about it and we're strict about it and we follow through, she knows what to do when we're asking her, right? So that's pretty much it. This is what we got going on. You missed because he's a scrub. Oh man, a lot of scrubs on the court. All right, guys.